Sitting here with women's golf coach Nick Rule. And Coach Rule, you're getting ready to start your spring season officially with a meet that you call your home meet. Where exactly is this going to be held?
Yeah, our spring invitational is called the Iowa Intercollegiate Championships. It's our third year doing it. Basically, we invite everyone in Iowa, but also everyone in the Midwest to come in, and we're trying to make somewhat of a state championship and for all college, all intercollegiate athletics when it comes to golf. So we've increased our amount of teams in the field every single year. This year we have our largest field. We're pretty excited about it. We got a few ranked teams, including our team, our first team, and it should be some good competition.
Right, you guys ranked 23rd out the gates here in the spring season, and you did very well on the course that national championships will be held over the fall. What kind of result are you looking for this weekend to kind of set the tone for the spring season?
There is another team there that's ranked, Bellevue. I believe they're in the top 10, if I remember correctly. They're number 9. Playing with them, beating them would be a great result. But, we want to beat every team every time we take the golf course. I mean, we're kind of a no-mercy type of program. Every time we take the course, we want to win, and we want to win big. Bellevue's a really, really good team, though, and so keeping up with them and beating them would be the ultimate goal, because I think if we end up beating Bellevue, we actually win the tournament. So that's going to be the big focus with our varsity team. And our varsity reserve team is full of a bunch of young, talented players as well. I think a top 3, top 4 finish with that team will also be something that we'd be very proud of.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. We've talked before that you have 2 teams that you think are top 4 teams in the conference by themselves. So 2 top 5s in the field that you're going to be facing would be extremely good to start the season. We know Maggie Yang and the season that she had last year. You go into the fall season, and she's by far not the only one that we've been having to pay attention to. Yeah. What are some other players that are going to get a lot of varsity time in the spring?
Well, in the fall last year, traditionally our top 3 were Maggie Yang from Chino, California, Demi Kutza from South Africa, and Jean Yang from Woodland Hills, California. We played 7 different players on our varsity team last year, and our starting 5 this weekend will be Maggie, Demi, Jean, and then Courtney Cunningham from Muskogee, Oklahoma, who's a freshman, and then Alexandria Ekenrada Jr. So, yes, this weekend, those 5 are the ones really to watch, but I would also say look at the second team too, because you got Natalie Booten, who's playing number 1 on our second team, Ashley Manio, who's playing in the 2 spot, Alexi Rule in the 3 spot, Carly Schmalz in the 4 spot. They can really, make a run at a varsity roster spot this spring. And then Lindsay Dorn's really improving in the back end as well. We just had a really good practice session with her this morning. But, I think that we have a roster of 5 that I would not trade any of them with anyone else in the conference. So, look for all their names. I would say those 7 or 8 that I first mentioned are people that can make a real impact as we move in towards this weekend, but also the rest of the year.
That is a lot of depth, especially when we're talking about a golf program. Still a young golf program. Yeah. You guys really, really took the conference by the horns last year and asserted yourself as a program to be reckoned with. And I believe maybe the 4th or 5th season that you guys have been active in the MCC. What's it taken to get to this point?
We kind of Coach Henry's been my mentor. When I took over the program, I was 23 years old. There had been a few years of turmoil, and it was very similar to when Coach Henry took over the basketball team. We all know what they've done. So it's basically following those steps. It's family. I mean, that's what we're about. We're a team that's full of a family, and it's about working hard and doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do, and getting good grades in the classroom. All that stuff molds our players into very talented athletes on the golf course. And so, it's been difficult, but it's been we're a few years ahead of the pace that I thought we'd be at. At the end of 4 years, I wanted to compete for a conference title. We did it at the end of 2. We're the number 1 rated team in the conference right now, but that can change any week. We have to continue to play with a little bit of a chip on our shoulder. When the national ranking came out last week, we felt really disrespected. There were 2 teams in front of us that we had either tied or beat. And so we have a little bit of chip on our shoulder. 23, yeah, we're rated 23, and it's awesome to be rated in the top 25. We're very proud of that. but we feel like we should be a top 20 team. And I've told our girls that. I said, use this as motivation because you guys aren't getting the respect you deserve. But now we got to go and show them that you deserve the respect that we think we deserve. So, we're going to play with a chip on our shoulder all spring, and that's going to be a big thing that we focus on every single time we take the golf course. And this weekend is the first step to that. This is a course that we play really, really well at, the Preserve at Rathbun Lake, and it's our home away from home. And we set a school record there a few years ago. We've broken that record a few times since, but with Maggie playing the way she is and Demi's playing the best golf that she's played in her collegiate career, and when you throw those other three, who knows what can happen. We could play really, really, really well and break another record, or we could play mediocre and just be right where we're rated at.
Right, and I think 23 is nothing to sneeze at, but as you said, it is a little bit of a motivating point considering the teams that are in front of you. Last question, obviously you guys are going in with a lot of high expectations over the spring season, but even looking beyond that as we kick off this spring season, you're not going to really lose anybody going into next year. There's, I think, maybe one senior who is in the mix for a varsity spot, and that's got to feel really, really promising for you as well going into this season. Talk a little bit about the youth of this team and how you've been able to coach it.
Yeah, I mean, this team makes me really proud. We got a bunch of freshmen, sophomores, and then we got Maggie Yang, who's a junior, Ashley Manu, who's a junior. We lose one senior, Danielle Giannotti, who's been plagued by injuries all year. They're just a great group to be around, and to have them all back next year is really, really, really exciting. So as we move forward, there's a lot to be excited about. We have some expectations this year, yeah, and high expectations there's a little pressure that comes along with that, but I feel like we had similar expectations a year ago, but we were just so young that I think the expectations got to us a little bit. Going in with similar expectations into this spring and already experiencing that, even though we are very young, I feel a lot more confident that we'll be able to kind of put expectations aside and just play golf, which is what we're best at. So that's the start of this weekend. We got a great day on Friday. We had to move the tournament up a day, which we did, and so we're Friday and Saturday with 8 other collegiate teams there, and a result of first place would be ideal, and that'll propel us to Graceland next week.
Right, and we will talk to you before that as well. Coach Rule, congratulations on all the great preseason accolades, and good luck in your first tournament this weekend.
Appreciate you, Emery, and appreciate you guys covering us.